are in training. No kidding. You are in training to become a millionaire real estate agent. This room is filled, Zoom is filled with agents who look like, walk like, talk like, and have the checkbook of a millionaire real estate agent. I look like, walk like, talk like, and have the checkbook of a millionaire real estate agent. I am a millionaire real estate agent. So you're going to start hearing that at the beginning of Survive to Thrive every day, just like you hear what is work at the end, because I am brainwashing you. And it's good brainwashing though, so that's cool. Playbook. This is the blueprint to build a $1 million real estate business, and we are all in training to become millionaire real estate agents. Matter of fact, we're already there. Right, Paige? There you go. All right, so page 124, a hobo shack or house. It's a good story. All right, Gary starts in the middle of the page. I believe that until you have implemented and worked with a model, you have little business trying to change or improve it. Remember, trust those who have lived before you. Start with the basics. You know, when my son was younger and he was playing football, and he played football from the time he was 8 years old until his sophomore year of college. And I would go watch his practices. I was one of those crazy fathers who was at every practice, right? Yeah, I know. And every year in August, when they start practice in two-a-days, right? The first thing they do is line everybody up and get into a stance. Now, these kids have been playing football by the time they're a senior in high school. A lot of them have been playing football for 8-10 years. And don't you think they should know how to get into a stance by now? Yeah, they should. However, every single football practice, and I guarantee it's the same thing in the NFL, the first thing they do is get into a stance. And you guys think I'm tough on you during script practice? You should see those football coaches when these players don't get into their stance the right way. I mean, one little thing wrong with that stance, they're going to hear about it. Now, why did I say that? Well, let's see what Gary just said. I believe that until you have implemented and worked with a model, you have little business trying to change or improve it. Until you know how to get into a football stance, you have no business playing football. Begin with the basics. Remember, trust those who have lived before you. That's modeling. Now, middle of the page. Personal hands-on experience is the only true route to obtaining a clear understanding of if, when, or how you should ever deviate from a foundational model. Strangely enough, against all advice to the contrary. Now, he's getting ready to talk about you. He's getting ready to talk about all the real estate agents that you're in business with. So listen closely. Strangely enough, against all advice to the contrary, most agents begin by implementing their own ideas and models. So even though they know this, even though there's books written about this, there's still, most real estate agents go to school, get their license, pay for it on a credit card, and expect to start selling houses the very next day. I know what I'm doing. I've been in sales for 20 years. I don't need somebody to teach me how to sell real estate. That's not me talking, although that might have been me talking 20 years ago. And it seems they have always wanted to do things their own way and be creative. So they start off their business lives with creativity. Then, as a result of success or failure, they start adding more and more creativity to the mix. So you can actually be successful. If you remember the E to P conversation, E is entrepreneurial, what you do naturally, and you have a ceiling of achievement. And some people have a higher ceiling of achievement than others. Matter of fact, some people have a really high ceiling of achievement. They're going to succeed at a higher level than others without using models, going strictly by creativity. In other words, they're winging it. And they think they've arrived. They think, I don't need to go to training. I don't need to read that book. I don't need to practice and role play my scripts. I'm selling 2 homes a month. I'm selling 3 homes a month. I'm busy. Maybe you're busy because the market's great. You know, in Shift, Gary says that we succeed in good markets because of what we do well, but we also succeed in spite of what we do poorly. So don't get fooled into thinking that you can run a highly successful business for a long period of time working from an entrepreneurial point of view. At some point, you're gonna have to get purposeful, and you're gonna have to implement models, and you're gonna have to start adapting the right way to do this business in order to be successful, especially when the market gets tough, and it will get tough. I promise you, it may not be now, but it will be. All right. Where did I leave off? All right, then as a result of success or failure, they start adding more and more creativity to the mix. Before long, they have no solid foundation upon which to build and no framework upon which to hang their thinking and actions. The structure of their business begins to look like a hobo shack of ideas and creativity with no plan or no vision driving it. We believe that the best houses and the best businesses get built from clear blueprints, solid foundations, and proven frameworks. All right, page 125, bottom of the page. There are multiple avenues to the highest levels of success in the real estate sales business. In other words, there's multiple paths to the top of the mountain. However, these paths are not laid out on a physical grid like some city streets, so they may not be quite as obvious as you wish they would be. Intuition and a good sense of direction are probably not enough to get you there if you venture off to explore new unpaved avenues to success. You ever drive with someone who, and you're on your way to an event, or maybe you've got buyers in the car and you're showing houses, or you're going to a friend's house and you're driving with someone and you guys hit traffic. And that person says, okay, well, I'm going to take a detour and I'm going to find another route so that we can bypass all this traffic, right? And they're going strictly off intuition. And in the beginning, everything seems to be okay because the road you're on is going parallel with the road that you were on before. Now, all of a sudden, that road starts to veer off in a different direction. And what do? Do they stop and look at the map? No. They're still adding more creativity. They're still going with intuition. Maybe now there's a conversation going on into the car a little bit that sounds like, hey, maybe we should pull over and ask directions. I don't need to do that. I know where I'm going. And they take another detour, which leads to another veer in another direction. And they take another detour. And then all of a sudden you hit a dead end. You're like, okay, maybe I should pull over and get out my map. And what they end up doing is they end up backtracking to the point where they were when they took the very first detour. And then they get out their map and they're like, okay, let me look and see where we're going. And it's a do-over. Well, this happens in business as well. And what it sounds like is you'll hear someone say, I'm recreating my business. Ever hear anybody say that? Which means I didn't follow a path. I didn't follow a map. I just built this business strictly on creativity and I goofed up, so I get to start over. Too bad there isn't a GPS to building a millionaire real estate business, right? Well, guess what? There actually is. Hello, there it is. If you have a GPS, why wouldn't you use it? Right? I'm one of those people who puts the GPS on, even if I know exactly where I'm going, right? And there's no turns, I still want that thing on. Okay, bunny trail. Look at it visually this way. In the diagram below, so he's talking about figure 6 at the bottom of page 126. This is awesome. Okay, so for those of you on Zoom who can't see, I'm going to show you diagram at the bottom. Straight line with the little squiggly lines is following a model. The line that looks like, okay, the picture, the line, the other line is 100% creativity. Now, look at it visually this way. In the diagram below, figure 6, the straight line represents models, and the dotted line represents creativity. So you can get off track when you're adding creativity, but when you have a model, you don't get off track too far. Just get off track a little bit and then back. It's kind of like being on a 747 flying from Miami to Los Angeles. That thing is flying on path. And do you think it's on path the entire trip? Say no. It's off course correct, 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 off course correct. Matter of fact, several thousand times. Now, what's interesting is if you're following a model and you're running your business according to a model, you're going to be off course correct, off course correct, off course correct, off course correct. Here's the question: can you handle the corrections? Or at some point, do you look at corrections as rejection and say, I can't take this anymore, I'm done? It's a good thing the 747 doesn't have an ego, because the 747 would say, screw this, I'm done. I wouldn't want to be on that plane. All right. The dotted line represents creativity. When you start with models, you always have a sound, proven basis from which to work. The model serves as a reference point that allows you always to know why you made the creative decision you made and where to return if your creativity proves unsuccessful. When you don't have a model to provide direction and focus, your last creative effort becomes your reference point, and you can easily become lost, just like the person in the car who's driving on intuition. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Now, top of page 127. Start with the proven model, and only when you're confident you have your bearings and know your reference points, dare to strike down a new path of creativity. When agents don't follow models, they tend to say things like, oh, here we go. They tend to say things like, I'm reinventing my business this year. You know, it's interesting because as a real estate agent, back in 2002, I was a brand new agent. And I had an advantage. And the advantage was I was part of the Gary and Nikki team in Clearwater, Florida. They're in this book too, by the way. And because I was a part of their team, I had a great opportunity to model success. I also had a great opportunity to be a part of Gary Keller's original mastermind group. So today he has this mastermind group called the Top 100. And the top 100 agents, by the way, if you're taking notes, write that down. That's a goal. If I'm you, one of my goals is to be in Gary Keller's top 100. Amber Rutherford would say, write it down, write it down, write it down. So I will be a part of Gary Keller's top 100. Write it down. So the original mastermind group consisted of about 100 agents. And Gary and Nikki Ubaldini are a part of that group. And because they're a part of that group, I'm flying to Austin with them 4 times a year. And I'm sitting in this room with the top 100 agents in the country. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Now, these are the top 100 agents. I'm sharing this story for a reason. And somebody in the room would say, I'm getting back to basics. That's one of the top agents in the country saying, I'm getting back to the basics. And Gary's response would be, why did you ever leave them? Now, Gary's a little bit more direct. If you ever had a chance to speak with Gary directly, he's not going to sugarcoat anything. His DISC, he's a high D, which means he's a driver. He's also a high C, which means he's a driver without a filter. Oof, watch out. And Gary's response wouldn't just be, why did you ever get away from the basics? His response would be, MREA, did I ever tell you to get away from the basics? Then why did you? How smart was that? Okay. When agents don't follow models, they tend to say things like, I'm reinventing my business this year. That's often just another way of saying I'm lost and starting over. There it is. I'm getting back to the basics. Translated, I'm lost and starting over. And these are one of the top agents in the country. So I'm giving you guys a huge warning here. If one of the top 100 agents, my phone is lead generating. All right, enough. All right, if one of the top agents in the country can say, I'm reinventing my business, are you immune from getting off track? No, you're not. I promise you, you're gonna get some success. Some of you have already had different levels of success, and you're gonna be tempted to get off track, to leave the basics and to run your business with creativity. Be careful. It's going to lead to a dead end, which is going to lead to, I get to start over. All right. Don't tell me I didn't tell you. When you are models based, you occasionally need to tweak or readjust. And when you're creativity based, you get to start over. Boy, write that down. When you're models based, you get to occasionally tweak the model. And when you are creativity based, you get to start over. Now, a lesson from Warren Buffett. This is super good. Middle of page 127. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor of all time, understood how to be faithful to models. In graduate school, Buffett studied the teaching and models of economist Benjamin Graham, the author of Security Analysis, a classic guide to investing. In Buffettology, the authors write that Buffett believed that one learns through experience, and if not from experience, from those with experience. In other words, the greatest investor of our time, possibly of all time, understood the power of learning from others and following models. Later, after getting some professional investing experience, so Warren Buffett's getting started on his path and he's got some experience, he vowed not to make another investment. Now, what do you think caused him to do that? What do you think caused him to say, wait a minute, I'm going to stop until I've mastered this. I'm going to stop and I'm going to go back to the basics. What do you think happened?
You lost money.
You lost money. Probably a lot of money.
Yep.
Dale Carnegie had an employee come to him and say, well, I'm just coming in to let you know that, I'm sorry for the mistake that I made. And I understand you're going to be firing me. And Carnegie's response, the mistake cost $1 million, by the way. And this is a long time ago when $1 million was a lot of money. Carnegie's response was, why would I fire you when I just invested $1 million into your education? Now, Warren Buffett made a mistake, and he had a couple different choices on how he could respond to that mistake, not react. React is negative, respond is positive. He had a couple different options on how he could respond to that mistake, and his response was to learn, to grow. So, Buffett, where was I? After getting some professional investing experience, Buffett vowed not to make another investment until he had read security analysis 12 more times. So when I tell you, read this book, read it again, read it again, read it again, read it again, and read it again, where do you think I got that from? I got that from page 127 in the story about Warren Buffett. I sat in the room when Gary Keller told the top 100 agents in the room, if Warren Buffett had a standard that said he could not make another investment until he read security analysis 12 times, shouldn't you, as millionaire real estate agents, have a standard that you're going to read Millionaire Real Estate Agent at least 12 times? Do you want to be the Warren Buffett of real estate? Yes, you do. I'm answering for you. And read this book 12 times. For Warren Buffett, the right models really do matter. And his tremendous success proves that following the right models can have really big rewards. All right, Tuesday, we're going to pick up on page 128, and we're getting into the 4 fundamental models of real estate sales success. Give me a couple ahas, and we're going to check out for the weekend. Karen's hand went right up.
Yes, because the first thing I wrote down, don't reinvent the wheel, copy what is already working.
Love it.
Make corrections if you take a detour. That's it. Like that's
Brilliant.
That's like the 4 best sentences I've heard ever.
Brilliant. Good job. Love that. Yeah, love that. The model's there. Clarissa, you're next. The model's there. And here's the other thing I'm going to say about models. Until there's a model, we can look at something as being not possible. Roger Bannister was the first runner to break a 4-minute mile. Now, what's interesting about that is not that Roger Bannister ran a mile in 3 minutes and 58 seconds. That's not what's interesting. What's interesting is the following year, there were about a dozen people who ran the 4-minute, who broke the 4-minute mile. Today, there's hundreds every year, kids in high school running a mile in less than 4 minutes because there's a model. Clarissa.
The making corrections and adjusting, that's a bold law. That's the be, do. They added the last bold, adjust. Be, always, be doing, adjusting. Be doing, adjusting. Be, do, adjust to achieve.
Love it. Be, do, adjust, be, do, adjust, be, do, adjust, be, do, adjust, be, do, adjust for the rest of your life. Because unlike traveling to grandma's house for the holidays, there is no destination in this conversation. Perfection is a journey without a destination. It's a good thing. Again, what would you do if there was a destination? What would you do when you got there? I don't know, stop, look around. Pretty cool. Now what? Turn around, go backwards. Shirley, you have your hand up.
I do. It made me think of Sean Rawls when you had him speak to us. And he said, one of the ahas I got from him, we get to copy off the smartest students in the class. And we have this book to copy off the smartest, the most productive agents that there are.
I love it.
Follow it.
I love it. Right? It's like getting to go to school again and the teacher saying, hey, by the way, it's totally cool if you copy one another. Just share your answers. We're going to take this test as a group. I want to go to that school. All right, I've got 9:31, time to get to work. What is work? Work is 20 conversations, not 19, not 18, not 17 conversations, because when you have 17 conversations, you didn't have the 18th conversation, which could have been $1 million listing that you didn't get because you didn't have the conversation, and you don't know that you didn't have the opportunity because you didn't have the conversation. Make care calls, not sale calls. Always lead with gratitude. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you. With every single conversation, focus on getting an appointment, getting a referral, or adding somebody to your database. Those are your standards. Find somebody today that is thinking of selling their home, whether it's next week, 30 days from now, or a year from now, doesn't matter, because a year from now, you're going to need listings. Get face-to-face with someone every day who's thinking of selling their home, which means in the next 12 months, if you work 50 weeks, 5 days a week, you will be face-to-face with 250 people who are thinking of selling your home. And then follow up forever. You follow up forever because you reject rejection. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Remember, people will never change their mind, but what they will do is make a new decision based on new information. And Clarissa, when they make that new decision, it will be to
Hire me.
hire you. Make it a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
All right, I'm going to stop Facebook Live. Stop live stream. Cool. I'm going to keep the recording going so that you're able to go back and watch the video on YouTube of script practice. Those of you who are on Zoom, if you want to hang out, awesome. And if you're not able to, that's okay. We understand. Turn the computer around. Not having an earthquake in South Florida. See the room. And hey,
Hey, wait.
hello.
Hi, John. This is Paige, a local realtor. The reason I'm calling is I see your house came off the market, and I'm curious when you plan to hire the right agent for the job to sell your home.
Okay, great job. Let's start from the top. All right, let me get ready for
Okay.
Mean John.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ring.
Yeah.
Hi, John. This is Paige, a local realtor.
Oh,
John, I'm calling because your house came off the market, and I'm just curious when you plan to hire the right agent for the job to sell your home.
okay, cool. So we're gonna do it again. And even that little pause after is an opportunity for them to hang up the phone, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
be ready.
All right.
Keep
Ring.
going.
Okay.
Yep.
Ring.
Yeah.
Hi, John, this is Paige, a local realtor, calling about your house that just came off the market. John, I'm curious when you plan to hire the right agent for the job to sell your home.
So it was on the market for 6 months. Where were you?
That's a great question. John, when I have a house for sale, I'm.
Totally through you, I know.
You did.
It's okay. This is real life.
Yeah.
So
So where were you?
there's a couple different responses to this.
I was going with your agent never called me, but I didn't know how to transition.
So I understand. And when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it usually comes down to 1 of 3 reasons.
Okay.
Either price, presentation, or marketing. Now, just out of curiosity, which of those 3 do you believe is the reason your home didn't sell? Right? That's the first response I would go to. It's a redirect. It's not really, it's a distraction. It's not really answering the question, but kind of is. And it also leads to, if you were to hire me, my job would not only be to let all the buyers know that your home is for sale, it would also be to let all of the real estate agents in our market know your home is for sale as well. And I would email the top 100 agents in the market with a copy of your listing. I would also call them and let them know your home is for sale. And quite honestly, the reason I never looked at your home is because your agent didn't let me know it was for sale. That's a bomb. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna let it sit there for a moment and then I'm gonna go right to. Now, if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money and less time, would you like to see how I could do that? Right? And if I hear no, I'm taking a break. Cool, I understand. If I had a full price offer tomorrow, would you want me to bring you the offer? Right? Awesome. That's exactly why we should you know the rest. Okay. So there's several different parts to this conversation. Just break it down into those different compartments. They're files. And when you hear a response, you're just going to reach in, grab that file and go.
Okay.
Right? It's harder than it sounds. It is. Time on task over time equals mastery. And it's okay if we don't have mastery now. And Clarissa, this is why I was suggesting that you take your notebook and you tab it into different conversations. So when it's sitting there and you hear, where were you? You've got the tab that goes right to, where were you? Right? Okay. Sorry.
Ring.
Hello?
Hi, John, this is Paige, a local realtor,
Oh.
calling about your house that just came off the market. John, I'm curious when you plan to hire the right agent for the job to sell your home.
Yeah, you know, so it was on the market for 6 months. Where were you?
Yeah, John, that's a great question. You know, when a home doesn't sell, it usually comes down to one of three reasons. It's either price, the condition of the home, or the marketing. And I'm curious why you think your home didn't sell.
Probably marketing.
Right. And John, when a person hires me to sell their home, I not only call all the buyers in the area, but I also call the top realtors who are working with buyers in the area to promote your home. And quite frankly, your agent never called me.
Pause. Pause. You got which is good. Now keep going.
So, John, if I could show you how I can get your home sold quickly in the least amount of time for the most amount of money, would you like to see how I can do that?
So keep where you're at. Does she sound like she knows what she's talking about? If you're a local homeowner and you're getting this call, are you talking to a seasoned professional? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now, Paige, that sounds interesting. It sounds like you know what you're talking about, but I'm going to take a break. Call me back in 30 days.
Okay, great. And John, if I had a full price offer for
Yes!
tomorrow, would you like me to bring you that offer?
I don't know. Do you have an offer?
That's a great question too, and I won't know until I see your home. So it'll take me only about 15 minutes to pop by and see your home through the eyes of a buyer so that I could potentially bring you an offer. I have some time today at 2, or is 4 better?
Come on over at 4 o'clock.
Okay, great.
Wow.
Wow.
I am so glad that that's recording. Holy cow.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I could edit that role play and just put that role play on YouTube and it would blow up. Are you kidding me? Maybe one of the best expired conversations I've had in 20 years. Nice work, Paige. There you go. Good. Hey, for everybody else in the room, how long have you and I been working together?
At least 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. And could you do that 2 years ago?
No way.
No
No way.
way. There you go. Time on task over time equals mastery. Now, do you still have room to grow? 100%. What will you sound like 2 years from now?
Maybe like you.
There you go. There you go. And what's the value in that? When Paige has mastered this conversation, can she list 3, 4, 5 homes every single month? Right? And if she's listing 4 homes a month, 48 in a year, and 36 of them close, she should also close 36 buyers. Yes or yes?
Yeah.
That's 72 transactions with an average commission of $10,000. That's $720,000. Now, if you knew the end result to mastering these conversations was $720,000 a year, would you keep going?
Yes, I would.
There you go. Think bigger. All right, Sophia.
Hi, is this John?
It
Oh,
is.
sorry, ring, 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 ring.
Yeah, hi, I love your ring ring.
Hi, is this John?
It is.
Hi, John, this is Sophia Barrett with Keller Williams Realty. Do you have a minute?
Sure.
Well, thanks so much for taking my call. I won't take up too much of your time, but I wanted to share with you that a home recently sold in your neighborhood for top dollar. And I have a few interested buyers that would love to move into your neighborhood. Are you interested in selling at this time?
That's awesome. Love that. And you're doing great, by the way. And no, I'm not looking to sell right now, but that's great news.
Okay, well, if not you, who do you know that who do you know that may be thinking of selling now or in the next 6 to 12 months?
Great question.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'll be more than happy to, no, great question.
That was not a role play.
Yeah, that was.
That was me as the coach. That was me as the coach saying you ran that route perfectly. Yeah. So I can't think of anybody that's thinking of selling right
Okay. Well, I would love to keep in touch.
now.
I do like to keep my friends and family updated on the market.
Yeah.
And send them interesting information about the market once a month and check in every few months. So
Okay.
before I let you go, I would love to add you to the list if you think of anyone that might be selling now or in the distant future.
I would love to be in that group. Who wouldn't? You want my email address?
Yes,
It's
please.
blah, blah, blah. Are we done?
Yeah, well, wonderful. And your phone number. Oh, I have your phone number, right?
Okay.
And can I get your address? Because I also,
Yeah.
send mailers.
There you go. Blah, blah, blah.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.
Okay. Nice job, Sophia. Really good job. Yeah. 1 week, right?
Yeah.
It's Friday and we've been working on this for a week and progress. The 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks, page 71 of the MREA book. Think progress is one of the ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks. Has Sophia made progress this week? Say yes.
Yes.
Has she mastered this conversation? Say no. She hasn't. Would you expect her to? No. You're doing great. You're doing great, okay? Just keep practicing. Now, if that's written down, and I know you have paper in front of you, so I'm assuming at least part of it is written down. Make sure you have it written down word for word, so you're practicing the right play, right? Before I let you go, Sophia, I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means I send interesting information on the real estate market once a month, and I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Would it be okay if I added you to that group, right? Now, the other tweak that I would make to your script is a home in your neighborhood recently sold, which is great news. Our challenge now is we still have buyers that are looking for great homes like yours. I was just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home in the next 6 months? Now, it's an indirect way of asking you if you're thinking about selling your home versus directly asking you, are you interested in selling your home? Okay. I promise you, if they're thinking about it, they'll tell you. Yep. Okay. Hello.
Hello, is this John?
Yes.
Hi, John. This is Zara from Claire William Realty. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm great, and thank you so much for asking. I'm calling because I've noticed that your home just came off the market. So I was wondering if you were still interested in selling.
Doing great. No, I'm not.
Okay, I understand. But if I had a full price offer, do you think it changed your mind?
So I love that response to no. That might be one of the best responses to no in the room. Her tonality didn't drop. She still smiled. She was excited that I don't want to sell my house. I love that. Yeah, if you had an offer, I'd want to see the offer, of course.
Wow, that's great. So, and actually, I may have potential buyers who are looking for a
Are
house
you
in
reading
your
that?
area.
Stop. Are you reading that?
Yes.
Okay, so no.
Oh, my God.
No. As soon as you hear, yes, I'd love to see the offer,
Okay.
right? Or yeah, bring me the offer. The response is cool or great. or whatever word you want to use there. That's exactly why we should get together.
Yep.
I only need 10 or 15 minutes to pop by.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm not moving in, right? One of the reasons you're getting no is because they think you want to move in. I only need 10 or 15 minutes to pop by and take a look at your home so I could potentially bring you an offer.
Actually, I.
You have that- you have that written down?
Actually, yeah.
Well, then you weren't reading it.
Actually,
You just got off script.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I may have potential buyers who looking for houses in your area, but I won't know it until I see your house, and that's exactly why we should get together. And it will probably take 15 minutes of your time only.
Okay, I get it. That works. And just write this script a couple different ways. That's great. And if you're getting appointments with that, then that's great. And remember, this is not me, so don't get mad at me. It's Diana Kokoska. You don't need blah, blah, blah when blah works. In other words, if there's a shorter way to have the same conversation, just go with that, right? So yes, I would want you to bring an offer. The other response to that is, great, that's exactly why we should get together. I just need 10 or 15 minutes, what I shared with you earlier. Be ready for that, okay? Okay. You're doing great. Okay, I'm probably coaching you too hard for being in the room 1 week. I'm not correcting you. You're not that 747 instead of getting back on course. Don't give up and crash. Just keep going.
No, I hear that you correct me.
Okay, good. So, yeah, of course. I'd love to get together. You said 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
Yeah, actually, are you available today at 4 or maybe tomorrow after 2?
Today at 4 would be great.
Sounds great, and thank you so much for giving your valuable time to me.
Yes.
See you tomorrow.
Good work. Jonathan, you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, John.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jonathan King from Keller Williams. I just noticed that your home came off the market. Are you still
Oh.
interested in selling?
No, I don't want to sell it. Don't like you. Go away.
All right, John, but if I had a full price offer, would you be interested in hearing that offer?
Love that. Yeah, of course. Do you have an offer?
That's a great question, John, and I won't know until I see your home. It only take me about 15 minutes to pop by. Does today at 4 or tomorrow at 5 work better for you?
Yeah, where were you? It was on the market for 6 months.
Well, I didn't get a chance to see your home.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's all good. No worries. You're doing great. Right to that point. You weren't expecting that question. I love that. So you had a moment to think about it. And where were you the 6 months it was on the market?
To be honest, I didn't know your home was for sale. No one called me about your home.
Interesting.
If I had listed your home,
Mhm.
every big agent in the market would know about it. So I would call them all to let them all know that it was for sale.
Yeah.
So what do you think your agent didn't do that caused me not to know about your house?
Great job, Jonathan. Great job. You did well, right? And work on that part. So what we did is we found a blind spot that you need to go and invest some time working on, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so do that and you'll show up and crush that next time I hit you with that,
Mhm.
okay? Karen, go.
So I just want to say, per this morning's conversation, I didn't realize it, but I do now. I was unintentionally have been copying Gonzalo. He has inspired me without knowing it, and I've been copying him. I got his door knocker and I've been copying where he gets his, didn't even realize I was doing it. So I'm gonna continue copying him because
Yeah.
he seems
Yeah,
like a real go-getter.
yeah, I
Okay,
love that.
as a matter of fact, my door knocking is because of his door knocking stories.
There you
So I'm
go.
gonna go with that.
Oh, I love hearing stories like
Yeah,
that.
he,
Love it.
I didn't even realize I was copying him until he said it.
Yeah, yeah, and let me add, this is a cultural moment. Let me add that that's only possible because of a culture that is abundance-based versus scarcity-based.
Mhm.
Most real estate offices have a scarcity mentality. Real estate agents are extremely competitive by nature, even with the person who's sitting next to them in the same office. So they don't easily share ideas with other agents. Very, very different here. And because of that, you've had the opportunity to get inspired to door knock from Gonzalo's success, and because he's willing to share that success. Love that. Go.
Knock, knock, knock.
Open my door. Yes, hello.
Great. Hello, my name is Karen. I live here in the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
How are you today?
I'm always good.
Fantastic, me too. I just popped by to introduce myself and let you know that I am your local realtor with Keller Williams.
Love this. It's not a script. That was just me.
So I
Keep
just
going.
paused for them to reply or
So that's exciting, Karen. Keep going.
fantastic. Did you know that our neighbors on 98 Carriage just sold for higher than expected?
You know, I heard that. That's awesome.
And it sold quickly too, just
Really?
one day on the market.
Wow.
There are a lot of great buyers interested in moving here. Have you considered selling?
It's good.
So should the emphasis be on you? Because I'm only emphasizing one word. Have you considered selling?
You know, I'm good with different variations of this conversation, right? Have you considered selling your home? That's a great question. If you were to sell your home, just out of curiosity, where would you move to? Another great question. Do you know of anybody in the neighborhood who's thinking of selling their home? It's another great question, okay? I'm good with different variations of this question, and the cool thing about door knocking is you can practice different scripts
I
with
have a
different
yes,
people.
no, and I already have an agent.
Yeah, I'd have 3 different versions of
If they
this
say-
that I would try with everybody in the neighborhood until I found which one's getting the best response, and then I'd stick to that one.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to
no,
hear any of the
Karen,
responses?
I haven't thought about selling my home. You know, I've been here for maybe 5 years and I love it, not going anywhere, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, I understand. I'd like to keep in touch, so I can send you a monthly email with any interesting real estate activity for our neighborhood.
I'm good, let's do that.
Okay, fantastic. Can I have your phone number?
Sure.
And then your email.
Yep, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you for taking a moment to speak with me. It was nice meeting you. Too.
Love it. Great job.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. And now they're gonna go in command, right, with their home address,
Mhm.
email address, phone number. If the dog came to the door and you got the name of the dog's name is going in your database as well, right? So that next time you talk to them, you can say, hey, by the way, how's Fluffy, right? And you're going to launch the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture and smart plans. Okay, cool, Maria, go.
Ring ring.
Hello,
Hi, is this John?
it is.
Hi, John. My name is Maria Blumelo with Keller Williams in Coral Springs.
Yeah.
I'm calling about a home for sale at 123 Main Street, and I understand that you're selling by owner. Is that right?
I am.
Okay, I absolutely understand that. I was just curious, are you open to the idea of a realtor bringing you a potential buyer for your home?
Of course. Do you have a buyer?
Oh, that's a great question, John. And I won't know until I see your house.
Awesome.
It will only take 15 minutes of your time. Is that okay if I stop by today at 4 or tomorrow at 5?
Yeah, that's smart. 5 works. What's your fee?
Great, my fee is 3%.
Oh, I'm not paying 3%.
I understand, John. No, I don't know what
Gotcha.
to say.
Okay, no worries. So I understand. And when I bring you an offer, if I need to give up money in order to make the deal work, I will, because I'm a deal maker, not a deal breaker.
Okay.
So
I have a
tomorrow at 4
question.
o'clock?
I have a question about that.
Uh-huh.
When I say I'm willing to like basically give money away for you, I'm not willing to do that.
It's not what I said. I love this. So what's your fee is 3%. That's what you said, right? The house is $500,000 home. So 3% of 500,000 is $15,000, right? Now, Nick is the seller.
Okay.
And Nick, hey, John D, Keller Williams Realty, I've got great news. The buyer that I showed your property to last week is writing up an offer today. I'm gonna, you're still by owner, okay?
Right.
I'm gonna email the offer to you. Better yet, I'd love to schedule some time to pop by and go over the offer with you in person. Cool? Tomorrow at 4 or today, urgency. You're not gonna do it tomorrow, you're gonna do it today, right? Time is of the essence. So today at 4 or today at 3? He says 3. Cool. So now, Nick, here's the offer. The asking price is $500,000. They're offering full price, cash, closing in 30 days. 5 days for the inspection, and my fee is 3%. Nick's gonna tell me he's not paying 3%, or he's gonna remind me that I told him that I was willing to give up money in order to make the deal work, right? Go ahead, Nick, play your part.
Yeah, so I thought you told me you were willing to cut the commission because I can't pay 3% with what I need to net, so I appreciate the offer, but I cannot pay 3%.
Totally understand, right? And it's written here as 3% with cash closing in 30 days as is. And if 3% is the wrong number, tell me what would work for you. In other words, give me a counter offer.
I can do 1.5.
Okay, yeah. So here's what I'm willing to do. 1% of $500,000 is $5,000, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I'll reduce my fee by $2,500 and you'll close in 30 days so that you can move to Atlanta. I know that's where you told me you were moving to Atlanta in order to be with your family, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I'll reduce my fee by $2,500. You'll close in 30 days. You'll be with your family in Atlanta in 30 days, or you could possibly still be here 60 days from now. Now, if you're still here 60 days from now, what's your holding costs? What's your mortgage? What's your taxes? What's your insurance? All of that added up together comes out to about $4,000 a month. Yeah. So 60 days from now, you've paid $4,000 not to sell your home. Or you could accept this offer with me reducing my fee by $2,500 and be in Atlanta with your family in 30 days.
I've told every agent if they're gonna bring me a buyer that anything above what I'm offering, the buyer would have to pay.
Okay, so I'm more than glad to go back to the buyer and share with them that you want them to pay the difference between 1.5% and 3% minus $2,500, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Now I'm calling them back. Nick, I talked to the buyer. They're offering me full price.
Right.
It's cash, it's
Right.
closing in 30 days. They think that's a great offer. I happen to
Right.
agree with them, by the way. And remember, I work for them. I'm representing the buyer in this transaction, not you. So this is a take it or leave it offer. You can take my offer and move to Atlanta or possibly still be here 60 days
Right.
and still looking to sell your home. And maybe the market shifts between now and then, and now your home is worth less. There's more competition. Interest rates went up, your choice. What do you want to do?
I'll take the offer.
Done.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great,
Now, I gave up 0.5%.
Right. But you got the deal.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Aaron,
So you told me the line use, it's the previous agent last 6 months.
yeah. So I'm gonna hire the previous agent, and then where were you the last 6 months?
Yes.
Correct, go.
Hey, is this John?
Yes.
Hey, John, my name is Aaron Cottington with Keller Williams.
Oh.
Springs.
Uh,
John, I noticed that your home just came off the market. I'm curious. Are you still interested in selling?
You know, Aaron, I'm gonna relist with the previous agent.
John, I understand. And you don't owe me anything. Or you don't owe your previous agent anything. And you certainly don't owe me anything. But you do owe it to yourself to hire the right agent for the job. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, that makes sense, Aaron, but it was on the market for 6 months. Where were you?
Sure. John, normally when I come across a home that doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it's usually for one of three reasons, either price, presentation, or marketing. Just curious, which of the three is the reason why you think your home didn't sell?
Good question. Probably marketing.
Sure, John, and if I can come by for about 30 minutes to, sure, and John, if I can show you how I can net you more money in less time, is that something that you'd be interested in?
Yes, I would.
Sure.
Better. You got the appointment.
Yeah.
Better. And we still have a long way to go.
Of course.
Okay. Keep practicing that. You're looking for mastery, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what if I come back and say, you know, that makes sense, and I'm still going to relist with my previous agent? Now, here's your homework for next time.
Mhm.
What are a list of harm's way questions that you could ask me if you hear I'm still hiring the previous agent? What are a list of harm's way questions that you could ask me that would cause me to make a new decision, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. In other words, Aaron, I completely understand you want to relist with your previous agent. I get it. And doing the same thing, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, right? And since we both know you're not insane, if your home doesn't sell and you're still here 6 months from now, how do you feel? If the market shifted and your home is worth less money, how do you feel about that? If interest rates go up and your home is less affordable, how do you feel about that? If between now and 6 months from now, your neighbor's home is foreclosed on and that causes the value of your home to go down, could that potentially cause you not to sell your home? If it does, how do you feel about that? If this market is kind of like the market that we hit back in 2008 and hiring the wrong agent not only causes you not to sell your home, it causes you to be here 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 years from now. Are you okay with that? Got it?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you're looking at me like you want to wring my neck or something. I just want to make sure.
No, just take it all.
Okay. All right, I'm working on mastery with you. You've been in the room for a while. I'm not going to be easy on you. Okay. Okay, cool. Clarissa.
How's the market?
Okay, so Clarissa, how's the market?
That's a great question, John. Why do you ask? Are you thinking about selling your home, buying a home, or investing in real estate? Or do you know someone who's thinking about buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate?
Wow, you're a good real estate agent. Those were great questions. I was just kind of curious.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Okay, so those are great questions. You're a great real estate agent. And no, I wasn't thinking of selling my home. I was just kind of curious.
That's a good question. That's a good statement.
Give me your email so I can keep you updated.
So I think this is somebody that's already in her sphere of influence,
Oh,
right?
I thought you were talking to like your
Yeah.
doctor.
So this is standing in the front of the room. How many questions do you have? Remember that we lose if the name of the game is to stay on the phone as long as we can, or if we're face to face, if the name of the game is to stay in a conversation for as long as we can, we lose when we run out of questions.
And I just wrote.
Play
down
the question game.
questions.
Play the question game. Play the question game. In other words, that makes sense. By the way, Carissa, the market's super hot right now. We've got a seller's market in most price ranges. Not only is it a seller's market, there's actually less than 30 days of inventory in most price ranges. So homes are selling quickly with multiple offers, and we're seeing homes that are selling 5–10% above appraised value. It's ridiculous. So just out of curiosity and just for fun, if you were to sell your home, where would you move to? What's important to you about moving there? In an ideal world, when would you like to get there? What would that do for you? So between now and then, if the market were to shift and the value of your home were to drop, would you be okay with that? If that caused you not to be able to sell your home 2 years from now, would you be okay with that? See where I'm going?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much equity do you think that you built in your home?
All great questions. If you were to sell your home today and you walked away with $500,000, what would you do with that money? Would you invest any of it? What's the value of investing that money? What's the cost of not investing that money? If not selling your home and not investing that money caused you to not be able to send your kids to college, how would you feel about that?
I have a question.
Yes.
My neighbor, well, many people, but my neighbor had a conversation with her the other day, and she said, she isn't gonna sell because with the way that the market is and the house prices, it's gonna sell and nowhere. She can't afford to live somewhere else.
Right. So Sophia, what I'm finding is a lot of my buyers or a lot of my clients are moving twice in order to get out of the market at the top of the market. Can I explain? So one option would be to sell your home today, which would mean you're selling it at the top of the market and you're cashing out at the top of the market and then renting for a couple of years. Let the market cool off. And then look for a new home. Now, I know moving twice is a pain. So the next question is the pain of moving twice worth the pleasure of getting out at the top of the market?
Because that's what I'm hearing. So that's very good.
So I have a script ready to go for that, right? Again, this is not about me. This is not, wow, that was great. Don't do that. This is about, that's an important conversation. So I have a script ready to go because I've had this conversation about 100 times in the last 30 days, right? Madison?
Ring ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this John?
It is.
Hi, this is Madison Rath from Keller Williams Realty. How are you doing today?
Madison, I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm calling from a home that recently sold in your area, and I was wondering if you've had any thoughts of selling.
You're doing amazing. By the way, that's not script. Madison, that's exciting. And no, I'm not thinking of selling right now.
Okay, well, if you were to do anything in the future, do you have an agent that you would work with?
Write it down, write it down, write it down. That's from somebody's in the room for a week, right? Nice work.
Can you repeat that sentence?
I said, if you were to do something in the future, do you have an agent you would work with?
Right.
And if they say yes.
Yeah. So if they say yes, I'm gonna go right to, I understand, and I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means I send them interesting information on the real estate market once a month. And I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. And I'd love to earn the opportunity to be your agent in the future. So Madison, no, I don't have an agent that I would work with, right?
Okay.
I think they all suck. I don't want to work with them.
Well, when the time comes, I would love the opportunity to work with you.
Great job. Ignore the negativity, right? Great job. I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if she would bite and she didn't. Nice work.
I was hoping to stay in touch. What's a good email I can send you my contact information?
Oh, assume. Love it. Blah, blah, blah. You are crushing this. Keep going.
And then you would say your email, and I'd say, all right, well, thank you for your time. If you need anything, feel free to reach me out.
Love it. You A+. Really good work. Anna.
Okay.
I know, first day, you're like, he's gonna skip me, he's gonna skip me, he's gonna skip me. He's gonna skip me. So,
Okay,
hi, John, this is Anna. Just want to let you know I'm working as a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. That's it.
okay, so hi, John, this is Anna. I'm actually calling with Keller Williams Coral Springs. How are you?
There you go. You crushed it.
Okay,
You
I have
crushed
more.
You crushed it. You crushed it. Keep going.
Okay. Hey, John, I actually just found your information because one of your neighbors just sold their home for a really high price. Did
Awesome.
you know that?
Awesome. No.
You weren't aware, okay. Well, our challenge here is that we actually have a lot of buyers and not enough homes for sale. I would love to see what your home would go for. Do you have 15 minutes this afternoon that I can stop by, maybe like
Yes,
at
come
4
on
o'clock?
over. Yes, come on over.
Okay, so awesome. So just confirm your address for me.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right, awesome. And just your email, because I'm just gonna pop
Blah,
in
blah,
some
blah.
information. Okay, cool. See you at 3 p.m.
You got it.
All right.
So I met with Anna on Tuesday.
Yes,
1, 2, 3 days later, right?
yeah, first time here.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Nice work. Don't worry, I won't always be that
I'm
nice.
still like.
I will become a jerk eventually, but for now, I'm being nice. Here, I'm a jerk with Nick, right? All right, Nick, go.
Yes, good morning, John.
Yes,
Hey, John, how are you today?
I'm all right.
This is Nick. I'm a local agent in the area. I'm just giving you a courtesy call. We just listed another home for sale in the neighborhood, so I was wondering who you knew that was considering making a move sometime soon this year.
Awesome, 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 awesome. And don't know of anybody right now, but that's really good news.
Sure, I can appreciate it. Yeah, right now what we're offering is a free market report to determine the value of your home in
Okay.
today's market.
Mhm.
That's a free, no obligation report. So just curious, if we were to meet, when would be the best time for you? Mornings or afternoons better for you?
Can you just email me that report?
I can, but to give you the most accurate value on your home and what it would sell for in today's market, I'd have to see it. to see what kind of upgrades you've done.
That was it.
Right.
That's the response.
Right.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So you've answered my question. What do you do after that?
So yeah, so that, to give you the most accurate number, I'd have to see your house in person. Just to see what kind of upgrades you've done to the property. So I have some time this weekend or next week if, mornings or afternoons are better for you.
Yeah, so go back and just use the same clothes you
Yeah,
used prior to me saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I can do is I can email you that report after we've seen the house as well, so you have a copy in your email. So when is the best time typically better for you? Are mornings or afternoons better for you?
Anything after 4 is okay.
Okay, so how about 4:30 on Saturday, or is Monday better for you?
So Monday is better. Just so you know, if I ever list my house, I have an agent. I'm gonna hire them.
Sure, fair enough. Again, I just want to bring you the report. And again, we're doing a lot of business in the area. If you happen to know of anybody else, we're here to assist them as well.
And awesome, I understand, and I'll see you at 4:30.
Yeah, and I'll see you 4:30 Monday. Yeah.
Right? Ignore it.
Yeah.
Ignore it. It's just noise.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what I say. Yeah, Nick, you can come over Monday at 4:30, and if I ever hire anybody, I'm never gonna hire you. Your response would be?
Yeah, no, I understand. I'll see you at 4:30.
And if I ever hire somebody, I'm not hiring anybody who charges more than 1%. And your response would be?
Yeah, I completely understand. I'll see you at 4:30 on Monday.
Yeah. And you can come over at 4:30. By the way, I'm getting my real estate license. So if I sell the house, I'll just list it. And your response would be?
Yeah, I get it. Again, I'm a local agent in the area. We
Oh,
specialize in the area.
too much.
Yeah,
And your response would be?
that's great. I'm looking forward to seeing your house on Monday at 4:30.
That was it.
Yeah.
Nice work. Good work, everybody. All right, Zoom world. Wow, look at that. You all hung out. I love it. Good job.
Thank you.
This recording will be on my YouTube page. Anybody wants to go back and watch the recording. Cool. Make it a great weekend, everybody.